Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. I don't know, I'm gonna challenge the game now. Is there a run that could kill Assist the Forgotten? Is my microphone louder than it should be? Give me a moment. Yeah, how did that happen, dude? What were we playing that changed our microphone levels? I wonder if it was Super Mega Baseball. Triple O's 4, NCQX. We start with damage and speed upgrade in the form of growth hormones. An amazing item, and never mind, I suck. So you enter like this. Like, at this point, I just gotta be honest with you, I'm sick of winning. Like, I'm winning so much, my head's starting to spin around here. And I'm not grounded anymore. I forgot what it's like to lose. And you might be saying, and you got a very reasonable case to say so, hey NL, if you want to lose, why don't you try playing as a character that's not, like, potentially the most overpowered character in the game? And you know, you raise a very good point. I can't deny that you got your head screwed on straight when you say that. At the same time, with the dope rhymes that I kick, you know and I know, I float some old funky stuff to add to my, you know, okay. It's nothing but a G thing, baby. Now, the way I said that, I can't get the idea of Austin Powers singing nothing but a G thing out of my head, which is actually not that much of an absurd bit. When you consider, they also did It's a Hard Knock Life in Goldmember, which was the height of comedic artistry at the time, of course. Nothing but a G thing, baby. That's not, it's more Robin Leach than Mike Myers, but you should know by now, I can really only do one English accent. I know there's no such thing as an English accent. That was more like New Zealand anyway, but I digress. I forgot we are on an XL floor, so this run stands a very reasonable chance to pop off quite quickly. Zodiac, we don't really have much choice. Oh, Mom's Knife, it's 10 out of 10 and it's enjoyable. See if we'd played as any other character, assuming we hadn't died by this point. We would now have Mom's Knife without the bone, and in a way, we'd actually be like a little bit more overpowered. I think, at least. So let's move on here. We have no bombs, unfortunately. I would like to get a second secret room, if only to, like, protect myself. Oftentimes, those rooms will contain 2 red hearts, or several red hearts, I should say. I don't know why I said 2. That's what I have right now. Crackjacks is fine. Counterfeit Penny is quite obviously like a lot better than Mysterious Paper, because it actually does something. And then Mr. Dolly with the Tears upgrade, pretty solid. Now, this is actually amazing. So we'll take Empty Vessel, which gives us hearts. We'll take Guppy's Paw. Then we'll come back here, and effectively we lost nothing. But I'm trying to think, can we make ourselves fly and have Empty Vessel? It appears the answer to the question is no. You know what I mean? Because Empty Vessel procs when you have half a heart or less. So I thought it would maybe work in the Horror Babylon sense, where I could, like, enter a room as the soul, and then switch to the Forgotten, and I would have the ability to fly and the invincibility and all the good stuff that comes along with it. For now, though, like, quite literally 0 complaints. Ooh, you hit me, and you know what? This is the indignity of some enemies. They hit me. In my video, you hit me. Okay, well, you gotta give it a try. Dead cat. Should have swapped roles, but that's not bad. And then we're Guppy already. So this is one of those runs where I just, you know, you gotta laugh. You know, I gotta basically just say, you know, sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you. Of course, is a favorite quote from my favorite movie, Big Lebowski. That's the Polish name for it. Really, like, it's one of those runs that makes me self-conscious because it's so good, but tick, no thank you. You know, we'll get over it. I think I'll get over it once I start realizing that, you know, there's like a little dead zone. in terms of, like, my enjoyment of a run. But I don't think we're in that dead zone. I think we're past it. The dead zone is like when a run is so good that it has no chance to lose, but is not good enough that it has any chance to be the best run you've ever had. And you know, we got a ticket in the lottery now. Guppy and Mom's knife by the 3rd floor is an indication that this could be the best run we've ever had. We don't know it to be certain yet. It's very premature. Judas's Shadow? Well, it's actually, like, kind of unfortunate. I think we're good to go, actually. It's kind of unfortunate, because Judas's Shadow would remove our ability to become, or to stay as the Forgotten. And, I would very much like to stay as the Forgotten, because he's the most fun character in the game, and he is my digital son, and if anybody tries to mess with him, you gotta go through me first, which should slow you down by approximately, you know, 14 microseconds as you punch me in the face and watch my body crumple into a lifeless heap next to the site of the battle. Still, though, it's an honor thing. You wouldn't understand. It's an honor thing. Heck hath no fury like an honorable man born in November who makes YouTube videos. Have I talked about it? I mean, I've talked about it on the NLSS for sure, but you guys ever see those targeted shirts? Why are we getting so many deals with the devil, and why am I complaining? We definitely do want this, I guess. Targeted shirts are like, the necessary endpoint of Timothy Ferris's proliferation of the 4-hour work week. It's like, why find a job that you could enjoy doing and find fulfilling if you could just outsource all of your work to people who will accept less money than you? I guess maybe, you know, to some extent that's kind of like the foundation of capitalism. But anyway, like, I'm not gonna... It's not that kind of video, okay? The targeted shirts are like algorithmically created shirts that, you know, look at your metadata when you go to a website, and they're like, oh, he went to reddit.com/r/The Walking Dead. And then the shirt pops up. Never mess with a lady who loves Daryl Dixon and was born in user.birthmonth.toString. You can get all sorts of great ones. It's usually birth month is an incredibly common. I don't know how many of these were found in the wild and how many of them were then manufactured satirically, but I'm for them either way. The sun. We'll just use this for very little reason and move along here, because we're trucking along at a very good pace. But like I'll just go to the subreddit right now. I'll give you some good ones, you know. r/targeted shirts. It's loading. We'll go top posts from the past year. Number 1, Braun in November. Never underestimate an old man who is also an Air Force veteran and was born in November. Give it 1 sec here. Oh, you're a soldier? That's cute. My cousin is a tax attorney born in September, and he'll murder your family. I don't know, that one's too far. This is what a gay clarinet player looks like. Oh, walk away. This forklift operator has anger issues and a serious dislike for stupid people. Like, that's... We're so close. This is whenever people say things like, oh, you know, the singularity's coming up real soon. I'm thinking, like, within 5 years, we're going to be able to upload our brain into a robot body and live forever. I'm like, well, why don't we try getting targeted shirts that don't sound like they were, you know, written by email scammers asking you to, you know, break a Nigerian prince out of jail or something like that. What's ironic, or maybe it's not ironic, maybe it's just coincidental, but the targeted shirts are so bad that I kind of want to buy some. Ooh, that was actually very dangerous. Just to show off, like, hey, aren't I cool? I bought this deliberately garbage thing. That's pretty much, like, I have no sartorial sense at all. I've got no fashion sense, really. I mostly let my wife dress me because, you know, she's better at it than I am. And I'm completely also okay with that. But the entire crux of my fashion sense essentially boils down to buying things ironically. Like, I have a shirt I got at Value Village back when I could fit into it. And it says, well, but you need a little precursor to know this. This is from, like, maybe 12 years ago. Actually, probably more like, what year is it? 2018? Yeah, maybe 12 or 13 years ago. So even further back than that, like, you know, maybe 17 or 18 years ago, you know, American Idol came on, and then, as is often the case, after the success of American Idol, we had to do our own version in Canada. And if you're gonna make fun of that, you can, but please keep in mind that American Idol was originally based off a British show to begin with, so, you know, those in glass houses. Strength? Doesn't matter that much. So, the winner of Canadian Idol 1 happened to be from my hometown, and I didn't grow up in I didn't grow up in the city, but, you know, I didn't grow up in a small town. It wasn't like it was the biggest thing that's ever happened, but the town definitely, like, rallied around him, you know. There were signs everywhere. His name was Ryan Malcolm. There were signs on, like, fast food places that were like, "Go Ryan!" And I was like, "You go as well." Burger King on Bath Road. Yeah, we're keep moving on here. But anyway, so, like, all the fervor died down, and, you know, as is often the case with American Idol, no disrespect meant to Ryan Malcolm, who was a very talented individual in the singing department, for sure. But, you know, the career never really kind of took off. I will re-roll this whole run, even though it's great. Career never really took off beyond the initial sort of, you know, burst you get when you win a show like that.
Full health.
Health up. I can live with it. Remember, we have the Guppy transformation, so I'm not sweating it too much. Anyway, long story short, like 5 years later, I'm in Value Village. There's a shirt that says, "I voted for Ryan Malcolm." First off, I said, who made that? Then I said, who would donate that? That's a priceless heirloom. So I started wearing that shirt around ironically. It's the kind of thing, you know, you get people, in hindsight, it seems very stupid, but you get people that would see you and be like, "Hey, nice shirt." And you'd go, "Thank you. It is a nice shirt, isn't it?" You know, this is from my younger days. And it's still my favorite shirt, even though I had to throw it in the garbage, because it is like an extra small. And I am not. But it was fun while it lasted. So now, next time I go to, like, Facebook, which I still haven't deleted, and really should, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna see an ad that's like, "Don't mess with Canadians who voted for Ryan Malcolm in 2001. And I'm not talking about A Space Odyssey. The cool thing about a targeted shirt is that if you ever see someone in public, you know that you're dealing with... I mean, I don't want to be necessarily overly rude, but you know that you're dealing with either an idiot or a snarky millennial who bought the shirt ironically, and as a result, you can tailor your interactions accordingly. For example, if you know it's an idiot, you can stay away, and if you know it's a snarky millennial, you could beat them up because they killed Applebee's. Which, by the way, I said this when the article first came out, but you're welcome. The ferocious maw of the millennial generation hungers at all times. It demands sacrifices of fast casual chain restaurants, fabric softeners, general purpose household cleaners, and so on and so forth. And if you mess with us, you might be next. Earthquake insurance business. We're here at 11 minutes. That's ridiculous. We haven't even really put the rush in. It's just like the strongest run I've ever seen in my life, maybe. Get the heck out of here. See what you get in here. If you get something good, it's worth doing. But dude, I'm being real with you, okay? Here's a change, and I've talked about this with respect to crawl spaces. Like, please God, make crawl spaces better. Because they're so bad, and occasionally there's a chance that they give you a black market, which, if you have HP, can be good. But the odds are so low as to make me unexcited whenever I see a crawl space. There should be, in my personal opinion, and also slightly professional opinion, I suppose, because I'm still playing the game as well for basically the duration of my entire life. There should be a slightly tweaked pool for boss rush, and admittedly it wouldn't have mattered much because we had chaos, right? Or maybe we don't have it anymore because we re-rolled, but there should be a tweaked pool for boss rush that takes out some of the trash. Nothing like getting the boss rush and then you're like, okay, hourglass and peeper's eye, aka no thank you. Like, I'm not saying it should guarantee you a good item, but if you're saying that, like, I'm not sure I'm necessarily disagreeing, so to speak. It's a big ask to do the room. Depends on your spacebar item, I guess. With no spacebar item, you know, I'm not suggesting we would die on that room, but probably better off. By the way, I should definitely be looking at least at what the soul does there, because, you know, when you re-roll your whole run, you might get some synergies that make one character more applicable or more usable than the other. And I don't know. I wouldn't say that the soul is more usable than our, you know, 14 damage Lusty Blood melee build right now. But seems like there's some okay stuff going on there. We do get the value of parasitoid tears on melee, which again, if you think I'm using this video as an opportunity to rag on the developers, you're quite mistaken. Because, you know, as is often the case, whenever I play as the Forgotten and a synergy works with melee that would never have worked in 300 years of this game having existed before then, I'm losing my mind. I'm so happy about it, but you took my bone heart. And now, it's done for me. If you steal my bone heart. So Sack Dagger's amazing, but we just had it, so we're gonna take Death's Touch, and then probably Book of the Dead. And again, why not take advantage of every opportunity here to get as many items as we can with 9 lives. So I think we just upped our damage. And our boss fight is definitely like down into the left here. We should use Book of the Dead. It's a weird item in the sense that I'm not going to use it just yet, because I think it works better on a room with more enemies. This one will probably be relatively appropriate. It's a book you want to use at the end of a room. So now that these guys are dead, we'll pop this. That seems pretty okay. This is one of the more interesting items in the booster pack. Like, I think this is going to be, and it's a little early to say because I've only done, you know, like 20 or 25 runs or something like that, but I think this could be one of the more enduring items from the game. Obviously, the character is extremely enduring, but Book of the Dead seems like one of those that could be applicable for other characters as well. I still have no idea, and this is what I like about it, I have no idea where it fits in, like, relative to other books. Like, is it as good as the Necronomicon? It seems better right now. Is it as good as Book of Revelations? See, now those are fighting words. That's a classic game-winning item in a lot of circumstances. This is an outrageous amount of deals with the devil, and I'm so happy. I almost felt like I cost myself a chance at greatness there. I'm not going to fight Hush, and it's not really... I recognize this is a very, very fast video right now. But even recognizing that, I can't justify fighting Hush with our HP in its current situation. I wish it were different. Trust me, you know, you might think I have an incentive to publish shorter videos. It allows me to publish more videos. And I mean, I guess in a literal sense, you're right. I do have an incentive, but, you know, you're talking to the guy who publishes like 3.5 or 4 hours of content a day on top of a stream on pretty much every day of the week now. They're not always on my They're not always on my channel, but I'm trying. Monday is NLSS. Tuesday, there's like a 85% likelihood we do a stream on the average Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, NLSS. Thursday's also Kate stream. Friday's Roundtable. Saturday's another stream with Kate. Sunday is the subscriber show. There you go. 7 days a week. Ooh, I love your Twitch stream. Yes, you know it's true. And that's, you know, 8 Days a Week by the Beatles. Have you heard of them? A little indie band out of Liverpool. I'm not sure if you've heard of them. They're pretty underground. Perhaps you've heard of them. They're known as the Beatles. Don't even try it, buddy. Okay, that was like highly unworth it, but... So, if you're not an idiot, you should do this fight differently. But because I pride myself on being a masterful idiot, instead, I'm going to do the entire fight with melee. Now, the Void, dare I suggest, it's actually more doable than Hush, because we have a few extra chances at items down there. But obviously, I'm not going to give up the chest just to do the Void. If the Void happens to show up after this, I might consider it. Sprinkler, I love you. A lot of the time, at least. This time, I'm unsure. I thought we had shielded tears for a second there. It looked to me like I deflected a shot back at an enemy, but apparently not. Anyway, this is like... It's amazing because this run has not had any synergies, and let's keep in mind, you know, we also re-rolled our whole run, but this run has not had any synergies that are like 12 out of 10. I've never seen anything like that before in my entire life. And yet here we are at 18 minutes fighting possibly the boss at the end of the game. Like, this is an incredibly fast run. And I say that, you know, with a little bit of pride in my voice, but also quite a lot of, you know, great personal shame. But hey, you know, there's 2 Isaac videos going up daily right now, so just hope the other one is incredibly long and a train wreck, and then got a little bit less to be self-conscious about. I actually like doing long videos, and, you know, there is, again, an incentive, I guess, to short videos. That's why I end up with these YouTubers who, like, when they played, it always made me laugh when they played The Binding of Isaac, Rebirth or Flash. They do like 1 floor, and that was their video for the day, and I'm like, dudes, it takes you 8 days to do an Isaac run on your channel? And then I look at the comments, and people are like, this video's so good, and I'm like, I'm missing out, man. Give me some of that 15-minute workday, and no, I don't know, I'm a, what is this? Brittle Bones, this is a different, it's full bone hearts? But none of them have any juice in them. That's incredible. If we can get a full health, though. Not that we're going to need it, but dude, that's amazing. This is really like, it's kind of my ideal life. As much as I make the joke that, you know, the other, those dang other YouTubers with their editing and the 10-minute videos that take 16 hours to produce. But I can really, like, I appreciate the meditation of doing the same thing over and over and getting hopefully a little bit better at it every time, although there's no guarantee there. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, albeit a little bit of a shorter one. If you did, click the like button. Helps us a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I will see you next time.